Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at a really interesting story about a Nigerian blogger named Fidelis. And we're going to be exploring how he managed to achieve some pretty impressive financial goals all through his dedication to saving.
Yeah, his story is really inspiring, especially for younger folks just starting out.
For sure. And by the end of this deep dive, I'm hoping our listeners will have a better grasp on just how powerful consistent saving can be.
Yeah. Even with small amounts, it can really make a huge difference over time.
Exactly. And stick around, you won't believe some of the details in this story, like Fidelis hiding a huge sum of money in a CRT TV.
Sounds intriguing. Where should we start?
Well, Fidelis started blogging back in 2014 with the goal of making money through Google AdSense.
Ah, AdSense. Yeah, I remember when that was like the gold rush for bloggers.
Exactly. For those who don't know, AdSense lets website owners display ads on their sites and earn money from clicks.
It's like a way to monetize your content by tapping into Google's huge advertising network. Right. Say you have a blog about, I don't know, cooking.
Okay.
AdSense might show ads for kitchen appliances or recipe books on your blog, and when people click those ads, you earn a little bit of money.
Smart.
It's actually not Fidelis's first attempt at this, though.
Oh, really?
He'd previously set up a forum, also tried to use AdSense, but he ran into a problem.
What happened?
He didn't have complete control over his AdSense account, and the person who set it up for him actually ended up taking all the earnings.
Oh, no. That's a tough lesson, but a really important one for anyone starting out online, Always keep control of your accounts.
Couldn't agree more. So Fidelis, he decided to do things the right way this time.
Good for him.
Got himself a new AdSense account from a friend, a guy named Michael V.
Okay.
It was much easier to get approved back then.
Yeah, I remember those days you didn't need all the fancy domain approvals and traffic requirements like now.
Exactly. And so he started earning pretty quickly.
Great. So how much did he make?
His first AdSense payment was about $130.
Not bad. A good start.
Yeah, he split the money with his friend, kept the rest.
It's amazing how even a small amount like that can kickstart a whole financial journey.
Yeah, and as we'll see, Fidelis' dedication to saving even these early earnings played a huge role in his success.
I'm eager to hear how.
So around the same time, Fidelis' mother introduced him to a cooperative society.
Co-ops. Those are fascinating. Have you ever been involved in one?
Not personally, but I've heard they're really popular in parts of the world, especially developing countries, right?
Yeah. They're essentially member-owned financial institutions.
Interesting.
So members contribute money regularly, and then they use that pooled money to give out loans to other members at lower interest rates than banks.
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
And then the profits they make get shared among the members.
So it's like a community effort to build financial stability together.
Exactly. It encourages saving, gives people access to affordable credit.
Makes sense, especially for those who might not have easy access to banks. Exactly. So Fidelis, motivated by his online earnings, started making weekly contributions to this cooperative.
Smart move.
And get this, within a year, he'd saved up over 1 million naira.
Wow. That's a lot of money, especially back then.
Yeah, it really shows what consistent saving can do, even if it's just a little bit each week.
The power of compounding.
Right. So, picture this. Fidelis goes with his tenant, Paul, to collect this money in cash late at night.
Okay.
They're counting and recounting these huge stacks of bills.
I can only imagine the nerves.
Totally understandable. He couldn't sleep that night. Anxieties were running high.
Makes sense. That's a lot of responsibility.
So what does he do? He hides the money overnight.
Where did he put it?
In a CRT TV. Can you believe it?
Wow. That's both resourceful and a little bit risky.
Definitely highlights the challenges of informal saving methods.
For sure.
But here's the thing. Fidelis was only about 19 at the time.
Really? That's impressive.
Instead of, giving into temptation and spending it, he went straight to the bank the next morning and deposited the entire amount.
Yeah, that's discipline. Delayed gratification, that's a key ingredient for financial success.
Absolutely. But of course, word got out and family started coming to him with all sorts of business ideas and requests for loans.
Oh, I bet.
But Fidelis, being the smart guy he is, had a different approach.
What does he do?
He encouraged them to join the cooperative society.
Very clever.
He stressed the importance of financial independence, wanted to empower them to achieve their own goals.
That's a much more sustainable solution than just handing out money.
For sure. It shows real maturity and a deep understanding of financial principles, even at such a young age.
Yeah, he was thinking long-term, building a solid foundation, not just for himself, but for his family as well.
And Fidelis wasn't just saving for the sake of saving. He had a specific goal in mind: real estate.
Ah, classic investment.
He knew property was a tangible asset that could appreciate over time.
Especially in a growing market.
Exactly. But before we jump into his real estate ventures, let's take a quick pause and we'll be right back to continue our deep dive into Fidelis' world.
Sounds good, I'm hooked.
Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. We left off with Fidelis waiting for that perfect chance to invest in real estate.
Exciting.
And remember, this was in the mid-2010s in Nigeria when property was way more affordable than it is now.
Yeah, the market changes so much over time. Timing is everything in real estate.
Couldn't agree more, and Fidelis' timing was spot on.
Whoa.
He found a lintel-level bungalow for sale at a distressed price.
A lintel level.
Yeah, so for those who haven't heard that term, it basically means a house that's built up to the point where the lintels, the supports above the doors and windows, are in place.
Oh, I see. So like a partially built house.
Exactly. Needs some finishing work.
That can be a great way to get a good deal, buy it cheaper, then finish it the way you want.
Right, but Fidelis didn't just stop there.
No.
He also found a plot of land, also at a distressed price.
Wow, 2 birds with 1 stone.
And he grabbed both opportunities.
He must have been really prepared.
Absolutely. All that saving paid off. He was able to buy both properties outright.
That's incredible. What a great example of how saving consistently for a goal can really let you jump on those chances when they pop up.
Exactly. What really impressed me was he didn't just buy the properties. He also paid for all the extra costs, the agency fees, land levies, everything.
Those levies can add up. It's not just the purchase price you got to think about with real estate.
Very true. So here he is, still a student, but already owning 2 properties.
It really shows that anyone can get into real estate, even students, as long as they're smart with their money and have a plan.
It's super inspiring. But what happened next? Well, fast forward to Fidelis graduating in 2017. And instead of moving back home like a lot of grads do, he moved straight into his finished and furnished bungalow.
Wow. Imagine the pride and independence he must have felt.
I know, right? It's not just about the material success. It's about defying expectations, making your own path.
It kind of challenges the whole idea of finish school, get a job, then buy a house.
Totally. It's more like create opportunities, work smart, achieve financial freedom on your own terms.
I think Fidelis' story resonates with a lot of young people today. You know, with the internet and everything, there's so many different ways to make money and reach your goals.
Absolutely. It's about being resourceful, adaptable, and not being afraid to break the mold.
And Fidelis' story offers a real blueprint for how anyone can leverage online opportunities, save smart, and invest strategically to build a secure future.
It's a reminder that it's not just about how much you earn, but how you manage and use your money. So we've seen Fidelis go from blogging newbie to becoming a property owner.
Quite the journey.
But what can we, the listeners, learn from all this? How can we apply these lessons to our own lives?
That's the question, right? But it doesn't have to be complicated. It all comes down to being proactive about your finances and realizing you can shape your own financial future.
So where do we even start? What are some actual steps we can take right now to start building that foundation for financial success?
Well, first things first, got to figure out where you stand right now.
Okay.
Take a good look at your income, your expenses, any debts you might have.
It's like taking stock before you go shopping.
Exactly. Got to see what you're working with so you know what to work on.
Makes sense. So once you have that snapshot, what next?
Then you can start setting some goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you want to achieve? Saving for a down payment maybe, paying off those student loans, building up an emergency fund.
Having clear goals gives you something to aim for.
Exactly. It's like having a destination in mind when you're setting off on a trip.
So those goals are like our financial destinations, but we still need a map to get there.
And that map, my friend, is your budget.
The dreaded B word.
It's not so scary, I promise.
Yeah.
A budget's just a way to keep track of your money, see where it's going, and make sure it's going where you want it to go.
Fidelis was really good at resisting impulse buys. That's something I struggle with. Any tips for avoiding those tempting splurges?
The best trick I've found is just to pause before you buy something, especially if it's not something you absolutely need, you know. Ask yourself, do I really need this right this second, or can it wait a week or two?
That pause can save you a lot of money and regret.
Exactly. It's all about shifting that mindset from, I want it now, to I'm working towards a bigger goal.
And saving doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself, right? It's all about finding that balance.
Just like Fidelis, he still had fun as a student, but he was also building a strong foundation for his future.
Okay, so we've covered budgeting, resisting those impulse buys, setting goals. But what about investing? It can be a bit intimidating, especially if you're new to it.
It's a key part of building wealth, but you got to approach it carefully. There are tons of resources out there to help you learn the basics, books, courses, even podcasts.
Like ours.
Exactly. And if you're really unsure, talking to a financial advisor can be a huge help.
So it's all about educating yourself and not being afraid to ask for help.
And remember, investing is a long game. You got to be patient.
Fidelis focused on real estate, but there are so many other ways to invest, right?
Oh yeah, tons. You've got stocks, bonds, mutual funds, even things like cryptocurrencies these days.
It's amazing how many options there are. So it's about doing your research and picking investments that fit your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And don't forget to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Like the saying goes.
Exactly. And speaking of diversification, Fidelis' story shows how important it is to have multiple streams of income. He had his AdSense earnings. But there's a whole world of online opportunities out there these days.
Freelancing, online courses, e-commerce, the possibilities are endless.
It's all about figuring out your skills and interests and finding the right platform for you.
Being resourceful, adaptable, embracing that entrepreneurial spirit.
And who knows? You might even discover a new passion along the way.
That's the beauty of it, right? The internet has made it so much easier for people to create their own paths to success.
And Fidelis is living proof of that.
Absolutely. His story is a testament to what's possible when you combine hard work, smart saving, and a little bit of risk-taking.
I think that's a great note to end on. Fidelis' journey is a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to achieve financial success.
And not just that, but to use that success to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Exactly. It's not just about accumulating wealth. It's about building a better future for ourselves and for our communities.
I love that. And on that note, thank you everyone for joining us on this deep dive into the inspiring world of Fidelis.
It's been a pleasure sharing his story and the valuable lessons we can all learn from it.
Until next time, keep learning, keep saving, and keep striving to make a difference. And we're back. Man, what a journey it's been with Fidelis.
Right. From hiding cash in a TV to becoming a landlord, he's come a long way.
He has, but this next part, this is where his story gets really powerful, at least to me.
Oh, what happened?
Well, Fidelis, he didn't just stop at achieving his own financial goals. He decided to use his success to help others.
That's amazing. How so?
Remember how he encouraged his family to join the cooperative? That was just the start.
Right, great.
As his real estate stuff took off, he began using some of his rental income to fund education for kids in his community who couldn't afford it.
Wow, that's incredible. He wasn't just building wealth, he was actively lifting up his community.
It really struck me. He understood that education is like this key to break out of poverty, and instead of just giving money away, he invested in the future of these kids.
Yeah, it's a powerful way to create lasting change, giving people the tools to help themselves.
And it wasn't just money. He got involved in mentoring young people, sharing what he'd learned about online business, saving, investing, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, so he was passing on his knowledge, empowering the next generation.
Exactly. I think his story shows how financial success can create this ripple effect. You achieve your goals, and then it kind of inspires and lifts up the people around you.
And it doesn't have to be these huge gestures or tons of money. It could start with small things, sharing your knowledge, supporting local businesses, being a mentor, whatever you can do.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Fidelis' world, what's the one big takeaway for our listeners? What can they hold on to from all this?
For me, I think the main message is that financial success is about more than just money. It's about creating a positive impact, using what you have to empower others and make a difference in the world.
It's like realizing that true prosperity is about everyone around you doing well, not just yourself.
Exactly. Fidelis shows us that financial success can be a force for good, a way to make real positive change and inspire others to do the same.
It's a reminder that no matter where you are financially, you can make a difference.
And it all starts with taking action, however small.
Couldn't agree more. So what can our listeners do today to get closer to their financial goals or to help others along the way?
That's the question, isn't it? It's up to each of us to find our own way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this amazing journey with Fidelis. We hope his story has inspired you to go after your own financial dreams.
And to use your success to make the world a better place.
Beautifully said. Until next time, keep learning, keep saving, and keep making a difference.